Hello and welcome to another presentation by Today's. It's been 15 years since Sabrina Spellman last graced our screens, but now she's back with a new darker reboot. The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina is Netflix's version of the much loved teenage witch. Sabrina is the queen of reincarnations, which shouldn't be that much of a surprise. She is magic after all. Whether it's the Archie comic book, which kicked this all off, or the 70s cartoon show, or the live action Melissa Joan Hart 1990s show, Sabrina has somehow managed to lodge herself in our hearts and affections. Now do not consider this to be a reboot. Leave aside your memory of the sassy Salem, the eccentric aunts Zelda and Hilda, or the female lead we all want to befriend. This version is far from being cute. While the aunts Kant and Sabrina are all present here, there is a new story to tell. There is a new ominous way in which the whole story unfolds in front of you. The teen is approaching her 16th birthday, and she has to choose between her human friends and the witch world. Faced with such a decision, Sabrina fights to grow up on her own terms, her own way, while navigating a horror that's perfectly timed for Halloween. This is a must-watch television series for the grown-ups, 21 and above. It only takes the first episode to draw you in, not because it's a masterpiece, it's often far from it, it almost borderlines on creepy, but somehow Sabrina is visually stunning. It's a smart script and it's endearing in its clumsiness. Riverdale showrunner Roberto Aguirre Sacasa has said over and over that this show is a darker Sabrina, think Rosemary's Baby and Exorcist. There is a clear 60s vibe here. The background music that's been chosen, I was pleasantly surprised to hear Cliff Richard on the track. It's edgy and it wants you to know, that it changes. It never sticks to a tone, but that's okay. In my opinion, Kernan Shipka owns the role. The Mad Men star Shipka steps into the magic witch's shoes as a strong young woman struggling to balance high school and her devil-worshipping background. Shipka summed it up when she said she is a woke witch. She makes the role her own. The actress is absolutely amazing. And it's clear there's even more room for the show to grow. Netflix has already greenlit another season, so there is a security when it comes down to the way that you can present it. She's a heady mix of the strength of Buffy and the great detective work of Hermione Granger, and it is dashed in with a lot of 2018 feminist awareness. You may think that Shipka's Sabrina is a long way from her Sally Draper or her Mad Men days, but this teen girl has the same man's world to battle against. That's not to say Melissa Joan Hart's version wasn't woke. It was all about feminism, from the witches to its strange cameos. Britney Spears even crops up as an aside. Melissa and Britney became friends and she appeared in the movie You Drive Me Crazy. But Sabrina started out as a mere aside to the Archie comic universe. It was not the center of the universe. It was never there. It was merely a 2-3 page story that generally used to come out. But ever since the 60s and the 70s reincarnation, she has come into her own, and this series particularly is darker, much darker. The former Doctor Who actress is the demonic Madam Satan. Netflix plays up to this. It gives us a fresh retelling that is more 2018 Buffy than Sabrina of the 90s. This is a gory and sometimes violent horror show with covens, satanic rituals and terrifying showdowns. Sabrina belongs to the Church of Night, a coven that is into devil worshipping. It includes human sacrifice and eating flesh. If that wasn't dark enough, she attends the Academy of Unseen Arts, where she has a priest, Father Blackwood, to contend with, as well as many mean girls known as the Weird Sisters. Her head teacher, Brosnan Pinot from Perfect Strangers, is another addition. Shipka doesn't fly around in a Hoover as Melissa did. She does mutter dark spells while getting the bus to school, but she also holds her own as just a woman. The Sabrina struggles in a witch world dominated by men, but she's aware of it. In high school, the male figures are no different. They are just bullying jocks. As is expected from a Hollywood produce, there is no place for a strong white male in Hollywood anymore. And I was kind of surprised when I came to know initially. I mean, I'm being very brutally honest. You might call me boorish at that. But I was very surprised when I came to know that Sabrina was not being turned into an African American teen. This is what I was expecting. The 10-episode series sees Sabrina battle against the Dark Lord who wants her to sign her soul over to the Book of the Beasts. We see Sabrina discussing her dilemma with Prudence earlier on. She's optimistic that she can have everything, power and freedom, humanity and witchcraft, just like a millennial. Give me everything, I deserve everything. I do not want to compromise at point A or point B, and why should they? Prudence, having already signed herself over, thinks she knows better. The Dark Lord won't let her have both, and it's not an accident that Prudence makes it a feminist argument. She tells her the Dark Lord will never let her have what she wants, and it's all because she's a girl. And there is a very telling statement there. He's a man, isn't he? She says. Magic becomes a weird metaphor. A metaphor you never quite understand what it stands for. Women's optimism for change. The idea that we can have everything we want. The idea that irrespective anything, our differences don't matter. Either way, it gives the show a weight that perhaps over young adult shows lack. You can enjoy the horror and witchcraft while also thinking about the limits women have in society. Don't get me wrong, Sabrina isn't some revolutionary commentary, but it does have something to say. If you ask me, there are two different aspects of this analysis here. Let's analyze the visual aspect. There is nothing messy about the visuals though. The whole show is a joy to watch. Netflix brings a level of production that sometimes TV show lacks. If that wasn't enough, Sabrina has nailed the casting. The Aunt Hildy, Lucy Davis, and Zelda provide light relief, but it's Michelle Gomez from Doctor Who who steals every scene that she's in. Our own Eowyn is the glamorous Aunt Zelda. Playing Miss Wardell, a character firmly in the witch camp, Gomez is all smirks, red lips, and effortless class. She is Sabrina's warning of what is to come. A witch who has lived in this man's world, and while she'd have you believe there is no choice existing for a witch between human and witch, there are times her facade slips, and you see the toll that it has taken on her. While the witchy world is fascinating, the high school needs some work. It lacks the draw the witchcraft has. It's been done before in Riverdale. Harvey will also need some more love when Sabrina returns. Their story is an afterthought, and it never comes on its own because, again, white male characters do not matter. It is intentional. Sabrina is full of these inconsistencies. On one hand, it's very strong on women's issue, and on the other hand, it's even stronger in dishing male characters. I would have promoted this series as a good one, but it looks more like a brainwash attempt. A young 15-year-old girl watching 10 series like Sabrina, and trust me, she'll have a deep-rooted hate for men. This will skew up her life for good. So, if you are a parent watching this review, you are cautioned. If you are a teenage watching it, watch it with a pinch of salt. Don't take everything that is being said in the series seriously. Things are often over-exaggerated for dramatic effects. So, with this caution, I am Anupam Sinha. This is today's, and you are our dear viewers. Thank you.